Hey y'all, it's Ali from Little Hill Homestead. We recently did an applesauce video and I kind of mentioned that we might be doing applesauce bread with some of the leftover applesauce. And quite a few of you guys asked for a recipe. And the funny part is I wasn't even thinking of posting this. And then I was like, you know what? We do make a really good applesauce bread. So let's go, right? Okay, so obviously this is an applesauce bread. There's three versions that you guys can make. You can make a basic applesauce bread. You can make a basic applesauce bread with a crumb, like a crumble topping, like a coffee cake topping type of thing. Or you can do what we're doing today, and we're going to make it those two things plus a maple glaze that you drizzle over the end of it. Over the end of it? You drizzle over the top of it at the end. And it kind of absorbs into it, makes this beautiful glaze. But I don't know why I never thought to post this one. So here you go. The first thing that you need is a bowl for your wet ingredients and a bowl, I have one to the side right here for our dry ingredients. So the first thing we're going to put in here, 2 eggs. I do them first so that I can see if I get any eggshell going on in there. So we're good. Let me chuck these in the trash. I know I should compost, but guess what? I'm not composting yet because I don't want fruit flies, you guys. Also, let me grab my whisk. You don't really need to mix those. It's just an automatic thing. Okay, we have 1 stick of melted butter going in to our egg mixture. It did cool down, so it's not going to heat up our eggs at all. Then we have 1/2 cup of sour cream. Sour cream in breads adds like a moistness that's awesome. So why wouldn't you, right? By the way, look at your sour cream ingredients. We of course sometimes make our own sour cream. We don't always because I don't always have time to do everything from scratch, you guys. And so I have some give and take, right? So I recently was at Kroger and I just grabbed their sour cream because it was on sale and I just grabbed it. When I get home and it's got you guys, I don't even know, it was like gelatin and the list went on and on. And we are label readers and I forgot to read the label and I was like, okay, never again. I know everything has a purpose in it, but get a better brand. That's all I'm saying. The next thing we need is our applesauce. This is 1/2 cup of our applesauce. Our applesauce had a little bit of sugar in it, but it was not much. And so if you're making it with applesauce, I would use unsweetened or reduce the sugar in the recipe, up to you. So it's just 1/2 cup of that going in. It's just enough to get the apple flavor that you will love. Okay, the last thing I'm putting in here is 1 tablespoon of molasses. Instead of adding brown sugar, this is 1.5 tablespoons. Good job, Allie. Grab the wrong one. Instead of adding brown sugar, we just add molasses and white sugar. So you can use cane sugar as well if you prefer. Okay, so there's our molasses. We're going to set that to the side because we will need that again. I think that's it for our wet. Okay. Give that just a little stir to incorporate everything together. And then just set it to the side. Bring on the dry ingredients. You guys ready? You need 1.5 cups of flour. We went to an Amish community a while ago and bought we bought all kinds of stuff. It was awesome. But one of the things we bought, I kept seeing different versions of flour there. One of them was called Occidental, I believe is what it was called. And one of them was called Sapphire. And I thought, what in the world is Occidental or Sapphire? Sapphire flour. That's hard to say. So I told myself I couldn't get to that until I used some of my all-purpose flour up that I need to get rid of. Well, I finally made it through, and we just dug into the Sapphire flour, which I found out that the Occidental and Sapphire are the same thing. It is an unbleached all-purpose flour that they sell in some Amish communities, and you guys, it is bomb. So if you live anywhere near a place that sells this, it's definitely worth a grab. We made pizza dough with it last night, and my pizza dough was better than I've ever made it. The dough was velvety. It was beautiful. Okay, I have in this little dish 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Let's see, what else do I need? Oh, 3/4 cup of sugar going into that one. I have my recipe over here so I can make sure I don't forget something. And then the last thing we need is a teaspoon of cinnamon. Because everybody wants a folly apple spicy bread, right? And then the last thing, this is 1/4 of a teaspoon of nutmeg. I think I've told you guys this before. If you're new to our channel, this is going to be like what? But let me pull out a whole one so you can see what we use. We have nutmeg. We use whole nutmeg. They're like little, they look like a little nut, right? And we have this grater that I got this in Massachusetts. My mom got it probably in like 1982. I'm not even kidding. So this is what my family has always used, is whole nutmegs. So I kind of just grate to where I think it's about 1/4. The nutmeg flavor on freshly grated nutmeg is much stronger than pre-grated, and it's really, really delicious. Plus, whole nutmeg's pretty darn cheap, so it goes a long way. So if you can ever get little nutmegs, little berries, nut berries, what are they called? I don't know, nutmeg berries. I bought some at the Amish community. I have not broken into them yet, but they were really, really reasonable. That's about 1/4 a teaspoon. Okay, that's it, you guys. Let me use this little fork. We're just going to stir that together to make sure it's incorporated together. So I am going backwards today from how everybody says you should do this, just because of my bowl size. Whoops, my bad. I'm going to put my dry ingredients into my wet, and then we're just going to incorporate those together. So I have, I don't know when I'm going to post this video. We'll see what order I go in, because I'm doing all these body care ones right now. But my crazy sister, her name is Pam. I've told you guys about her before. I love my sister to death. My sister isn't really a cook, like at all, which is interesting because my mom actually majored in home ec when they had it in colleges still. So that was her college major, was home economics. And my sister can do the basics, but she's not as adventurous as we are by any means. So she called me this morning and she was like, hey, I can't remember what she said she's going to put it in. Sorry if that's loud. She's like, her husband's name is Dirk. They were on social media, and she found these people that make a lavender vanilla extract, or just lavender extract. And she said, hey sis, can you make this? Well, come on. Yes, we can make that. We've done so many extracts lately that I thought we were done making extracts, but we're going to be making a lavender extract and a lavender vanilla extract for her. They're going to be bourbon based, but they can be vodka based as well. So look out for that one. It's going to be out soon. I'm sorry I'm so loud. You want to get everything off your little scraper, right? Okay, get yourself your child cheater, and I have a pre-sprayed glass pan. It's not a 9 by 13. It's just a bread pan. What is that? It's a bread pan, whatever size that is. I don't know. 5 by, I'm just kidding. I have no idea, you guys. We're just going to pop that in there. I have my oven, by the way, preheating at 350, if I forgot to say it. Our oven is finicky. I know I've told you about her before. Her name is Pearl. She is really old, and she likes to throw a fit sometimes. So she likes to burn things. We have to be a little more picky with our recipes with her, but we're hoping that she likes us today, that she feels like working with us. All right, so there is our apple bread. If you want to leave it just at that, by all means, you can. So, scrape that down. Boom. You can bake this for 50 to 60 minutes, and you're solid. Beautiful loaf of apple bread. But if you want to make it exceptional, here's our crumble recipe. I'm totally going to lick my finger. I know there's raw on it, whatever. It's really good. Okay. Where's my fork? There's my fork. Okay, so this is our crumble recipe. You guys ready? I have in this jar 1/2 cup of white sugar or cane sugar and 1/2 cup of just all-purpose flour. I just pre-measured it to move this along just a little bit more. To that, we are going to add, this is 1/2 of a stick of butter that I've cut into little pieces, and we're just going to pop that right on top. The next thing you need, 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. And then we're going to take our fork and you're going to mix it around to incorporate that butter. You're basically cutting it up into the sugar. If you have, which I do, I should have grabbed it. If you have one of those butter cutting tools, like for pies and stuff like that, you could totally use that. I just find that if you work this with a fork or two, that it breaks down just fine. So just kind of keep pushing into it. Hand is buttery now. That was genius. Keep pushing it against the sidewalls, basically, of your bowl until it kind of becomes a crumble. This can take a couple minutes, you guys. I know I've told you this before. I have a bad elbow and a bad shoulder, and so some things like this that should be simple aren't always, but we're just going with it. Okay. See how it's like, you can do this with your fingers too. I try to avoid doing it with my fingers though, because the heat of your fingers is going to melt it. But see how it's just kind of crumbled down? Okay. We're just going to put that over the top. And it seems like a lot of crumble, but it soaks right down into there and makes it beautiful. You're going to love it. Okay. So I'm going to pop our bread into the oven for 50 to 60 minutes. I'm going to keep an eye on it. Start looking at about minute 45-ish. If your oven is a burner like mine, sometimes I'll stick a cookie sheet on the rack below where the bread's going to be. If it's not, if you're awesome and you have a new oven that's beautiful, lucky you. I'm a little bit jealous actually, but we're going to pop it in the oven, and then I am going to show you once it comes out of the oven. Let me get it in the oven, right? I'm not going to tell my you-know-what machine, my timer, what to set it for, because you guys always tell me that when I say, Alexa, set the timer, that she does. And so I apologize for that. Oh my gosh, she actually heard me, you guys. I apologize. No timer. Yeah, I know there's no timer set. Love hate, right? Love hate. I love the music, but other than that, she's kind of useless. Anyways, our bread is in the oven. I have set my microwave timer. And while that is going, I'm going to go tackle something else. And then we'll be back once I pull it out of the oven to show you the next step. So be back for that. Oh, did I ever finish talking about my crazy sister? So my sister, let me talk about her. She doesn't really know how to cook. She has a few things up her sleeve. I'm not saying she's like incompetent of cooking. She's just, I love you, sis. I do. But she can't cook. So we're going to make that extract for her though. And I can't remember what she said she's going to put it in, but I thought, oh, that's going to be really good either in an ice cream batch, doing a lavender vanilla ice cream, or I think she said she was going to put it in tea or coffee or something along those lines. But I'm thinking I'm going to do a lavender one and put it into some lemonade. So I'm not really sure yet, but we're going to mess with that. Anyways, that's it for my crazy sister. But yeah, back to the apple bread. We'll be back in just a minute, and we will have, I hope I remembered everything, you guys. I feel like I'm not remembering something that I was supposed to put in here. Did I? Oh, my crumble was supposed to have some molasses in it. That's what I forgot. I knew there was something. Dang it. You're supposed to put, along with the sugar, 1 tablespoon of molasses to help break it down. I forgot that. Too late now. It's already in the oven. So I'll have the correct recipe below. I really should, like, I don't know. I thought I had everything pre-ready, but such is life, right? It's still going to be delicious. It's just going to be lacking that little bit of molassesy flavor. You can also, in that case, by the way, use brown sugar so you don't forget like me. Okay, we'll be back once it cooks, and we'll see you soon. Okay, guys, I totally lied to you. I decided I'm going to make the maple glaze while it's in the oven because I want to be done with dishes. There you go. So I have 1 cup of just powdered sugar. If you guys haven't seen our powdered sugar recipe, I will try to remember to link it. We make our own powdered sugar, we make our own brown sugar, and we make our own baking powder. I think that's everything that was in the recipe that was homemade. Sometimes we make our own sour cream, not this time. So I have 1 cup of our powdered sugar. You need 1 tablespoon of milk. This is just going to thin it out. And then 1 tablespoon. I'm so sad because we had some organic maple syrup that we got in Ohio from an Amish community, and we ran out. And so now I had to go back to some store brand one for now. I'm probably going to order some from Azure till I can get back up to the Amish community. And hopefully they still have some because they sell it a lot. Okay, so that's it. You just mix those together, and it's just going to make, you can add a little more milk if it needs it. I don't think we're going to need it. No. So you may think like, that's a lot of powdered sugar. But once you add that in there, you guys, it breaks it way down. So what do we end up with? A lot less than a cup. Powdered sugar is very airy. That's the point of it, but less than half a cup in the end. So I'm just going to set this to the side. Should I add a little more? I like it to drizzle, but not like, I'm going to add the smallest splash of milk ever. Okay, that's it. Just thins it out a tiny bit more. I want it to drizzle, but I don't want it to be like so thick that it comes out in big streams when I drizzle it, if that makes any sense. So here's our consistency. It's kind of just pouring off my spoon now, and that's what I want. Okay. Okay is the word of the day, y'all. Oh, so fire update. If you guys have been following along with any of our recent videos or any of our social media, my brother and his family are still evacuated from their home in California. They're staying with my niece. I call her my sister niece because my actual sister had her when she was very young, and so she lived with us growing up. So she's more like a sister to me than a niece. But anyways, that's a whole other story. So my brother's still living with them. So we're actually gonna try to figure out how to order dinner for them from 2,200 miles away and have it delivered to the house. So since I kind of feel helpless and there's not much we can do. But then we found out last night that Shawn's uncle, who watches the channel a lot, so my kids call him Uncle Bam. His name is Uncle Dan. He lives in another community, different fire completely, and he was evacuated late last night with his puppy dog. So just prayers for all those people that are affected. That's all. Okay, I'm done with that. Done with that. Moving on. Finish up apple bread so she'll stop talking. Are we? Come on, right? Okay, that's enough for now. I'll be back when my apple bread is done, and I will show you it and our beautiful glaze, and then some samples for me, not you. Sorry. Okay, be back. Hey y'all, our bread is done. Mine took 60 minutes, and when it comes out of the oven, I give it maybe like 5 minutes. Then I run a knife just very lightly around the edge because the crumb topping can sometimes overflow over the edge of our glass. And as the bread shrinks down a little bit, the crumb topping will stick. We're gonna try to flip this out of the pan when it gets just a little bit cooler, and we don't want the crumb topping to completely fall off. So that's my little trick. Just run a little quick knife around the edge and then continue to let it cool down. So give it another, I'd say 45 minutes. We'll check on it in like 45 minutes. So that is it for now, but isn't it pretty? Let me see, can I touch it? Nope, can't touch that. Can't touch this, da, 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 da. Okay, Beth. There she is. Isn't she pretty? Okay, be back. Ooh. Hey, you guys. I just got a new, what's this thing called? What's this called? One of these. Tripod. I just got a new tripod, and I'm kind of excited about it, except that it jiggles when I start because I pushed on it. But we've been using this tripod forever, and it's hard when you're working in a kitchen because like there's not a lot of places to set this thing. If I'm working near a sink, I'm having to do funky stuff. It's just a pain. I don't like it. I've always hated it, but it was cheap and I've been using it forever. But we had somebody reach out after I complained about that thing a million times that said, hey, we'd love to send you this clip on the counter version. And so we got it today. So we're giving it a try, but I'll show you at the tail end why I think it's pretty cool. And why it's something that isn't just for people like me that are on YouTube and filming themselves like crazy maniacs all the time, but also something that I think if you are somebody who's in the kitchen a lot like me and you cook a lot, might be something kind of cool. I don't know. Anyways, here's our finished apple bread. It popped right out of the pan beautifully. What I do to pop it out of the pan is I lay a kitchen towel across it. I flip it over with the kitchen towel tightly pushed against the bread to keep that crust from falling off, basically. Then I flip it back over and remove the towel. So we have our glaze. I meant to tell you that if you want a punch in the face maple type flavor, which I love, you can do maple syrup, which is what we did. But I did throw a splash of this in there because I have a problem. I wanted this to be super folly and delicious, and so I did go ahead and add maple extract. I should probably figure out how to make that. Let's see. Except it's just extracts of mountain maple. Isn't maple just its own thing? I don't know. So I got to figure out how to make maple extract now. But I did throw a little splash of that in there, maybe a half a teaspoon. So all I do now is take our beautiful glaze that we have. I have this. You know what? We're going to take it off the plate. We're just going to do it right on the cutting board for ease. It'll make a mess, but that's fine, right? It's fine. All we're going to do is take our glaze, and you can either pour it, or I just like to do it with a spoon and give it a good drizzle. This has that powdered sugar in it, so it is going to leave like a white drizzle on the top. You'll be able to see it. That's why you wait for the bread to get cool. If you do it when the bread is hot, it will soak into your crumb crust that we've made, and it's not going to be as obvious. I am not the best at decorating. Well, okay, first of all, I'm not the best at baking. It's not my forte because I don't have patience. Things like breads or, simple stuff, I'm all about that. But cookies, oh Lord, people, I'm just not a fan. I know we do like a cookie thing every Christmas, and that's different. But overall, I don't like to do cookies. Okay, that's all I do. There's some glaze left. I usually will leave a little bit, and then like if we eat it hot, like if we eat it hot. If I eat it now, I might drizzle a little extra on it. But that's what our bread looks like. Isn't she beautiful? So I'm going to go ahead and cut. Let's see. Where should I cut? Nobody likes an end. Am I right? Let me not point a knife at you guys. Am I right? Nobody wants an end. So we'll just kind of be careful. And Shawn will always take the end because he is sweet like that. But I'm like, nah, nobody really wants that. The heel. Everybody wants the goodness in the middle, right? All right. We're going to let that. Did you see that maple start drizzling down all its beauty? So it's still kind of warm. If you wait for it to fully be cold, you'll have a little easier time cutting it than I am. The crumb topping is kind of falling, y'all, because I'm impatient. But, it's fine. It's fine. Okay. I'm just going to lay this down to try it for you guys. I'll pre-cut it because I know Shawn, he will usually hear me doing like, hey, we're going to try this for you. And it's like dog hearing. He can literally hear me from 2 miles away come running in here. He's on the phone right now, so he won't. But let me show you. This has our maple on it, but that's our finished bread. Look at the crumb topping. Sits right on top of our beautiful bread. Wow. I was talking with my mouth full. It's like straight fall. The apple is good. It's very moist from the sour cream. Applesauce also can be used in place of oil, so that adds some moistness. But it's like the cinnamon, the nutmeg comes through. It's spicy. It's appley. It's just a nice bread. Plus the crumb topping, yeah. The crumb topping's bomb. Who doesn't like a crumb topping? Am I right? And then the little hit of maple. You're not going to be disappointed if you're looking for a fall bread in your life. This is going to be the way to go. Yeah. Yes, sir. Am I right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so let me show you why I thought this little doohickey might work for you. One thing I like is I'll be able to get much closer to you guys. You don't want me up in your face. Get out my face, lady. One thing that I like is that mid stuff, I can still move it. Oh, look, I mean, not really, but we're still learning, y'all. But let me turn you around and show you why I think this is cool. You guys think that I would know how to use my own camera by now, but the truth is the matter is that I don't. So this is my new thing. Look at this thing. It clips on my counter, so I can use it literally anywhere, and it holds really, really tightly. This is for iPhones. It also came with this one that you can attach really easily for tablets. So if you are a tablet user and you're like, hey, I'm going to use Ali's recipe and you want to have it sitting here, this is why I thought it was kind of cool, is you can bend this little doodle daddle. You can hook this on there and it will balance the weight of your tablet so that you can cook and have your recipe open. Like, if you're using Pinterest, it stays open forever, like forever. I do that when I'm doing recipes so that it's like right there on my phone. But I just thought, dude, this is the coolest thing. So I'll link it below. Like I said, I've only had it for a day. Look at that thing. It's huge too. I thought the tablet thing was pretty cool. Anyways, enough promoting products. But I wanted to show you guys our new stuff. So I'm hoping we can get some cool, pointing because I'm hoping we can get some great shots in here, you guys. Isn't my ceiling pretty? And all my gray hair. Anyways, I'm hoping that we'll be able to get some different shots, maybe be able to get you guys in a little bit closer and do some cooler stuff using this little doohickey. Anyways, I'll link it below so you guys can check it out. I think it's pretty reasonable. But anyways, go make the bread. Let me get you in close up of the bread. Oh, look at that. Am I right, Charles? Deliciousness. I really need to pretend that there's actual people in my kitchen with me so that I stop singing and acting like a fool. Because the fact of the matter is, we, this week actually, hit 25,000 subscribers. That means that at any given day, there could be 25,000 people watching me sing in my kitchen. That's like a big NFL stadium watching me. Oh my gosh, that makes me Beyoncé? Oh my gosh, I'm so excited right now, you guys. I'm not Beyoncé. Who would I be? Oh my gosh, I could be Taylor Swift. No, she gets way more than 25,000. Anyways, you guys, I'm done with this madness. Who would I want to be? I'm going to go think about that now. Anyways, go make our delicious bread and go check out our new stand. I'm super excited about this bad boy. I'll probably point it out in another video just because you guys know that I like your opinion on stuff. So I'm curious to see what you think of us being able to get a few different close-up shots of our bread, shots of whatever it is we're working on that day. Anyways, thank you for watching, you guys. If you haven't subscribed, by the way, it's somewhere around here. I literally need to learn where it is, but that's my finger, you guys. Go hit subscribe because we do fun stuff around here. By the way, I'm throwing this in the middle of our beauty stuff that we've been working on. I'm going to have a few recipes and doodads that we're going to be throwing in. But what was the point of this? Oh, I added up the recipes that we have for our beauty care, body care series. And right now, I gotta narrow it down because I have 31 recipes, and that seems extreme. Do you guys really want to see an entire month of videos on body care stuff? You let me know below. Anyways, go make the bread. Recipes below. Thank you so much for watching. Love you guys. And y'all, I know my video went sideways. Did you just edit it out and take it out? Or do you just let you guys see how really real life is around here? We're going to leave it in. But I know that it's sideways, you guys. I know. But it was too good not to include. Am I right? Okay, bye, guys.